Your room feels cramped and you're tired of everything. Decluttered, rearranged furniture, even painted it white, and it still feels like a closet. Do you want to know why? Because you're probably making at least 3 of these mistakes. I'm Blake, and if you're new here, welcome to Built by Becker, where we talk about real design for real homes. I've been building and remodeling for over 15 years now, and I've worked on everything from 400 square foot apartments to massive houses. And here's what I've learned. Small space mistakes, they're universal. Whether you got a tiny bedroom or a weirdly shaped living room, the same problems keep popping up. And most of them, they're totally fixable. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what's making your room feel smaller than it actually is, and how to fix it without spending a fortune. Some of these are gonna surprise you, I promise. Before we dive in, if you're planning any kind of renovation or redesign, I've got something for you. I put together a complete design starter kit that walks you through the entire process, from planning and budgeting to picking finishes and avoiding expensive mistakes. It's the same system I use with all of my own clients, and it saved people thousands of dollars and months of headaches. The link is in the description below. Now, let's get into these mistakes. Mistake number 1, painting small rooms all white. Controversial take right out of the old gate. I know. Everyone says paint small rooms white to make them look bigger. And you know what? Sometimes that works, but most of the time, it doesn't. The thing with white paint is that it needs natural light to work. A lot of natural light. If your room doesn't have big windows or great sun exposure, white walls are just gonna look flat, dull, and kind of sad. It's like wearing a white t-shirt under fluorescent lights. Not exactly flattering. I see this all the time on the jobs. Someone paints their basement bedroom white thinking it's going to feel bigger. And instead, it feels like a hospital waiting room. No depth, no warmth, no character. Just blah. The fix? You got a low light room? Go with a medium tone color instead. Soft grayish, warm taupe, even muted blues or greens. These colors actually have some pigment in them, so they can bounce whatever light you do have around the room. They create depth instead of just reflecting emptiness. If you want a secret from me, let it be paint your trim, doors, and ceiling the same color as your walls. And I'm serious. When everything blends together, the edges of the room disappear and suddenly the space feels way bigger. It's called color drenching, and it works like magic, even in dark colors. Mistake number 2, pushing all your furniture against the walls. This one is so common. People think if I push everything up against the walls, I'll have more space in the middle. And on paper, that makes sense. But in reality, you're doing the opposite. When all your furniture is shoved against the walls, you create this weird dead zone in the center of the room. Feels empty and awkward. Like a high school gym with bleachers on the sides and nothing in the middle. Not exactly cozy. Plus, pushing everything to the walls makes it hard to create conversation areas. Your couch is 10 feet away from your chair and nobody can actually reach the coffee table without doing some sort of weird yoga stretch. It's uncomfortable and it makes the room feel bigger in a bad way. Like it's too spread out to be functional. The fix? Simple. Float your furniture. I know it sounds crazy, but even pulling your couch just 6 inches to 12 inches off the wall makes a huge difference. Creates a breathing room. It defines your seating area. And honestly, it just looks better. If you've got a small space, you're thinking, Blake, I can't float my couch. There's no room. Okay, fair. But can you float some smaller pieces? Pull your chair in a bit, angle them toward a couch, cluster everything together to create an intimate conversation zone? You want furniture to relate to each other, not to the walls. Mistake number 3, furniture that hides the floor. Let me ask you this question. How much of your floor can you actually see? Because if the answer is not much, that's your problem right there. Bulky furniture that sits flat on the ground makes a room feel heavier and smaller. When you can't see the floor underneath a sofa or dresser, your eye stops right there. It's like hitting a wall. But when you can see the floor, suddenly the room feels lighter and more open. This is why mid-century modern furniture is so popular in small spaces. Those tapered legs, the open bases, they let the air and the light flow underneath, which tricks your brain into thinking that there's more space than there actually is. Mistake number 4, not using multifunctional furniture. In small space, every single piece of furniture needs to earn its keep. And if it can do 2 jobs, even better. Right now, there are a lot of people trying to cram a regular dining table, a full desk, a coffee table, and storage units into a 200 square foot studio. And then they wonder why it feels cramped. Well, you got 6 pieces of furniture doing 6 jobs when you could have 3 pieces doing 6 jobs. Ottoman with storage inside. Yes. Dining table that extends when you need it. Absolutely. Bed frame with drawers underneath. Game changer. Fold out desk. Perfect. wall-mounted drop leaf table. Mwah! The goal is to make your furniture do double duty. And bonus points if that multifunctional furniture also has storage, because let's be honest, the problem in most small spaces isn't that you don't have enough room, it's that you have too much stuff, which by the way, we're going to talk about later. But first, mistake number 5. One ceiling light, calling it done. Oh man, this one drives me crazy. I walk into so many small houses where there's only one light source, and this source is a sad little ceiling fixture, or worse, a row of recessed lights blasting down from above like you're in an interrogation room. That's the problem. Ceiling lights only push light downward. That leaves all the corners in the shadow, creating harsh contrast and makes the whole room feel flat and uninviting. And in a small space, those dark corners make your room feel even smaller because the eye can't travel through the shadows. The fix is layering your lighting. And I know, I talk about this in almost every video because it matters. You need 3 types of lighting: ambient, task, and accent. Ambient lighting for your overall mood. Think ceiling fixtures, but also floor lamps, sconces, or even LED strips underneath shelves. Task lighting is functional. Desk lamps, pendant lights, over at a dining room table, reading lights by a bed. Accent lighting highlights features, right? Picture lights, sconces on the wall, maybe LED strips under a floating shelf. When you spread light sources around the room, everything gets softly illuminated, the harsh shadows disappear, the corners brighten up, and your eye can move around the whole space. And that's what makes your room open and inviting. And honestly, a couple well-placed lamps will do more for your small space than any paint color ever could. And I'm not exaggerating. Number 6. Area rugs that are way too small. All right, let's talk about rugs. People buy these tiny rugs, like a 5x7 in a living room with a full sectional. And then they're shocked when the whole space feels disjointed and weird. Here's the thing. A rug that is too small doesn't just look bad, it actually makes your room feel smaller. When your rug only covers the coffee table and nothing else, it chops up the floor space. It creates like visual clutter. Your eye stops at the edges of the rug and goes, okay, this is the end of the seating area, even though your furniture is still going. It's very confusing, and it makes everything feel cramped. The fix? Go bigger. Way bigger than you think you need. Mistake number 7. Matching everything perfectly. Okay, now this one might surprise you because you think matching equals cohesive equals good, right? Not always. When everything is in your room perfectly matched, the same wood tone, the same metal finish, the same color family, the room starts to feel flat. There's no depth, no interest, and honestly, it can make a space feel smaller because there's nothing for your eye to latch onto. And I'm not saying go wild and mix 17 different styles, but you need some contrast, some variety, a little visual interest. For example, if all your wood furniture is the same medium oak tone, try bringing in a metal side table or a painted piece, or even everything that's the same height. Add something tall, a floor lamp, a plant, a piece of art that draws your eye up. You want enough similarity that the room feels cohesive, but enough difference that it says, hey, I'm interesting, come hang out. Number 8, ignoring vertical space. Most people decorate at eye level and below. They fill their rooms with low, wide furniture and leave the top half of their walls completely empty, and then wonder why their ceilings feel so low. You want a room to feel bigger? You gotta go full height on some of these walls. I'm talking about floor to ceiling. Vertical storage is your best friend in a small space. Tall shelving units, wall-mounted cabinets, pegboards, hooks, all of this gets stuff off the floor and uses a space you're probably ignoring. The goal is to pull your eye upward, and then your eye travels up instead of side to side. The room feels taller, taller feels bigger. It's that simple. Number 9, heavy dark window treatments. Your windows are the main source of natural light in the room, so why on earth would you block them with heavy dark curtains that weighing everything down? Please, go high and go wide. Mount your curtain rod as close to the ceiling as you can, like an inch or 2 below the ceiling line. This draws the eye up and makes your walls feel taller. Then extend the rod at least 6 inches past the window frame on each side. That way, when you open up the curtains, they stack off to the side and actually frame the window instead of covering it. And if you can go with lighter fabrics, sheer or semi-sheer curtains still give you privacy, but they let natural light flood in. That light makes your room feel bigger, brighter, and of course, more open. Mistake number 10, swing doors eating up floor space. This last one, and this is a sneaky one because people don't really think about it. Traditional hinge doors that swing open into a room and that arc that they make, well, it eats up valuable floor space. In a small bedroom, the swing door may block up where you ideally could put a dresser, a chair, or even just a clear walkway. Now, In your own home, you got options. Pocket doors are amazing because they slide right into the wall. When they're open, you gain back that whole corner of a room. If a pocket door isn't doable, bifold doors can work too. They open wide without swinging fully into a room, so they can reclaim the space behind them for furniture or storage. And you also have the option of a barn door. I know I've said this before in videos, and it's not the most favorite these days, but that is an option. All right. 10 small space mistakes that are probably making your room feel way smaller than it actually is. And if this video helped you out, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We got tons of videos on design mistakes, renovation tips, and all the stuff that actually matters when you're trying to make your home look and feel better. Guys, I'm Blake, and I'm so happy to have you guys here. Drop a comment and tell me what you like or what you want to hear next. We're doing our best this year to bring you everything that you are looking for. Thanks for watching Built by Becker.